Hey everybody, welcome back to the warbossfitz channel. And today, because of some comments that I got trying to explain the rules of Turnip 28, somebody commented that I know that you can't go over the rules. Well, that's where you're wrong. Turnip 28, these rules are completely free. Go over to the Patreon or just Google Turnip 28 rules. And you go over to, I think his name is Max Fitzgerald. You go over to his Patreon and that's where you can get the core rules. 100% free. And look at this cool art he's got in there. Yeah, so we're gonna go over. We're gonna redo the poo fields again, but this time I'm gonna show you like the dice rolls and actually show you how to play Turnip 28. So let's get into the cults. Now we're gonna play the rules as they come up because there's a lot of stuff that even I'm not 100% sure of. But let's go over how to make an army. First, you start with a snob and your toadies. In this case of the Sun cults, we have the Sun is the toady. He's the overall commander of the army. And then we have two snobs, which is Lord Dacon and then Jerry the Pooh Farmer. These are the models that are going to be giving orders to your troops. And the way that you select the rest of your army, if you have a Toff, which is these guys here, that means you get 2 units. If you have a toady, there's these guys here, you get 1 unit apiece. And there's no points in the games. All of these are generally supposed to be balanced against themselves. So instead of a point value, like a 2,000 point game like we would see in Grimdark Future, in this case, you'd be having a 2 toady battle. And, 2, 3, 4, the more you have, the bigger the game gets. And for this scenario, these guys are playing as the Wretched Recruits. This is a green type of cult, which means they don't really change the game all that much. And when I say they're a green cult, you can see in the corner when you have their cult page pulled up on the main rules. I'm sure I'm going to superimpose it over top of everything. That's what that means. It means they are the most straightforward cults with limited to no new units. So what the Wretched Recruits have is they do have the Rootlings, which are these dudes over here. You get 6 guys in a squad. They suck, just like everybody. Oh, by the way, everyone in this game sucks. Just get over it. It is what it is. Their special thing is that they always pass dangerous terrain tests. We're going to go over it as we move throughout the game. They have Uproot, which means when the unit is killed, at the start of the next round, place the unit within a piece of dangerous terrain, not within 1 inch of another unit. Now, in this particular cult, along with the Rootlings, we have 3 units of 12 fodder. Fodder are garbage, and their abilities are determined by what they are armed with. These guys over here, they're a melee fodder, so they don't have any shooting weapons, but with the melee weapons, they get +1 to hit in close combat. They get +1 to their inaccuracy skill, because everyone in this game sucks, so we start off with inaccuracy instead of accuracy. And then our black powder weapons, which are these guys here, they start off on the baseline. You can get different missile weapons, but that just makes them worse. So black powder, you start off with these guys, and you only get to fire them once per turn. If and when they fire, they get a black powder token that means that they have a plume of smoke and crap in front of them. It doesn't give them any particular saving abilities, but it just means that you can't shoot again this turn. So the dangerous terrain on the board, as you can see, are my big fields of poo. It's like this stuff going on here and over there and over there. Those are the poo fields, the actual pools of poo. So we're making those dangerous. So then we go over to our cult of the moon. These guys are playing as the Procession of Woe. Now the Procession of Woe, they are an orange tadpole or like a nematode or something like that. So they are the next level up. These guys do change the game a little bit. Now we have our Toff and our 2 toadies, Toff, Toady. But what the Procession of Woe does is our Toff has been replaced by a Root Shrine, or in this case, my Moon Giant. What he can do is every time this unit is made ready, it may take up to 2 panic tokens from a friendly unit, so anybody here has a panic token. It can put those onto a different friendly unit within 18 inches. They don't have to be within line of sight. Now, why do you want your troops to panic? Because everybody in the Procession of Woe is considered a zealot. And if a zealot has 2 or more panic tokens, they increase their number of attacks by 1. And because we are melee base, so 1, 2, 3 melee fodder units, they're going to have +1 attack if and when they get 2 panic tokens, +1 to their inaccuracy whenever they fight in close combat. It can snowball into something big. The thing is you have to monitor the panic tokens, because that also will affect if and when you panic and run away from a fight. So 2, you're zealous. 6, you gonna run. So also in the regiment, we have a unit of brutes led by, what do I call him, Admiral? He has these 6 brutes, and brutes, they are just better than fodder in every way. So they have a better inaccuracy, they have a better armor save, and they actually have 2 wounds apiece to be taken out. So that is the base of my 2 different regiments. Let's look at the table. So here is the Pooh Farm. The Pooh Farm is built using the scenario of the Long March. Now, in the Long March, you take 3 pieces of dangerous terrain. I think mine might be a little big for Turnip, but you take 3 pieces of dangerous terrain, and you alternate putting them out into deployment zones. Here, let me zoom out a little bit more. There we go. Now you can see everything. And you take 1 piece of defensible terrain, you put it right in the middle. Now, you put down objectives. So it is 2 in each deployment zone, 1 of the piece of defensible terrain. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So at the end of the last narrative game, they actually held 3 objectives, but I didn't actually say it because I never showed them. And all the rest of the terrain is just kind of there for atmosphere. Like I got the psychedelic poo mushrooms, and we got the pieces of broken fence, and then I got the poop shack and the farmhouse. So it's just kind of atmospheric. So in order to play this game, you deploy 12 inches in on both sides, the 2 different regiments, and you roll dice to figure out which one is going to move first, to deploy first, to move first. And so I'm going to go ahead and deploy some stuff. So let's see who's going to go first. We got the Cult of the Moon with a 2, and then the other guys, the Cult of the Sun, with a 2, and then we just reroll again. Moon, 4, Sun, 2. So Moon gets to go first. We're going to deploy them on that side over there, and then the Sun over here. So here's the deployment for the Sun, guys. Now we have a different deployment than we did before. We got the Rootlings, and then we got the 3 units of fodder here with the melee guys in the middle. The Toffs or Toadies that you use don't matter. They just have a range. Like our Toadies here have a command range of 3 inches, and our Toffs have a range of 6 inches. So each of them get to order around 1 unit per turn, and we'll go over the orders in a moment. So over here we have our Giant playing the Shrine of Woe, leading the 2 units of fodder over here. We have the Brutes and their Toady, and then we have the fodder over here with their Toady. Now remember, one of these units does not have a commander, or there's not enough commanders to order everybody in a turn. So there's going to be somebody who gets ordered without a commander. So let's look at the orders. Whenever you order a unit, there is a chance that that unit does not know what the heck you're talking about, which is called a blunder. In order to do an order, you roll dice, and as long as you don't roll a 1, the order goes off quite nicely. But if you do roll a 1, that's where you get a blunder, and each order has a corresponding blunder. So for orders, we have Volley Fire, which gives +1 inaccuracy. Remember, that's what you use to actually hit with. If you blunder, it's -1 to your inaccuracy. You can still shoot, it's just -1 to hit. Then we have Move and Shoot, where you can move your movement distance and shoot. And if you blunder, you just move d6. Then we have March, where you move your movement value plus 2d6. And if you blunder, it's just your movement plus 1d6. Charge, movement plus 2d6 and enter melee. Blunder, movement plus 1d6 and enter melee. And charge, move your movement value plus 2d6 and enter melee. Or if you blunder it, it's just move your movement value plus 1d6 and enter melee. Now, blunders, they're not that big of a deal until you don't have somebody commanding them. That's when you run into the scenario blunder. And in this particular scenario of the Long March, the scenario blunder is the unit gives in to its ravenous hunger and removes D3 models. The unit then performs their unblundered order normally. Models can and will eat themselves. So if you remember from the last video where the 2 brutes slipped on poo and drowned in diarrhea, that was them succumbing to the scenario blunder. So I've said a lot of words. Let's just see it in practice. Mr. Shrine is going to order this unit of fodder in front of him to march forward. Because nobody's within charge range, I roll 1 dice, And as long as it's not a 1, oh look, the order goes off successfully. So I move their move value plus 2d6, which is going to be 11. Now, the fodder's move value is a 6. This means that we're going to be moving 17 inches up the board. Now that unit has gone all the way up to there. Your toady or your toff, or in this case the shrine, can move with them. He doesn't have to. But remember, if a commander is not within a certain amount of inches of a unit, it has to take its own orders, and it can do the scenario blunder. So in this case, the shrine's going to go with it just to give it backup on its next activation. Boom. So Turnip is an alternating activations game. So now our wretched recruits get to activate. And these guys here are armed with black powder rifles. That rifle has a range of 18 inches. Surprise, surprise, we're in range. So we do not need to move. So that means this Toff is going to order this unit to volley fire. So again, anything but a 1, we're good. So now we get to fire at this unit, rolling 1 dice for every one of our dudes at +1 to hit. Now, that sounds pretty good until you realize fodder are garbage. So even with the +1 to hit, it's only a 5. So that's not too bad compared to the last game. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. Now our fodder from the procession of woe have to save, and they save on a 6. So they don't save anything. So we remove 5 models. If they were armed with a ranged weapon, they could fire back, and that would be done simultaneously. But since they're not, they don't get to fire back, and because they took at least 1 casualty, they get a panic token. Bing! That's what I used the yellow dice for in the last game. Now we get to continue going back and forth because nothing is in range over here. These guys are going to march. It goes off. They go an extra 2d6 for an extra 6 for a grand total of 12, meaning they will move to there. So then Jerry and this unit of black powder guys, they are going to fire. Again, we have a range of 18 inches. Yeah, everybody is in range. Ta-da. So we get to order another volley fire. We're good. 12 shots. See, this time we only hit once. Saving on a 6. Fail. So it takes 1 out, and they get 1 panic token. You have to use all of your toffs and toadies to order their units first. So where this unit doesn't have one, or this one could potentially order that one, but he wants to order the brutes. So we have to do them next. We're going to do another march order. We're good, barely this time, and we go 2d6 plus 6 for 12. And then you guys didn't see it with the fade, but we went around the mushrooms. And then your character here, he gets to move as fast as the unit goes. His only rule is he has to move in the straightest possible, shortest distance to get there. The last unit that we have under a character over here are the Rootlings. So they are going to get ordered to charge, and you have to attack the closest unit, whether it be in shooting or in melee. So that unit of Rootlings is going to charge here. And does the order go off? It does. And how far do they go? They're going to be able to go 12 inches. So now we've made a successful charge roll. This unit over here has to make a panic test, just because they are getting charged. In order to make a panic test, you roll 1 dice, and you add the number of panic tokens to it. If you get a 7 or higher, you run away. All right, we're good. No panic yet. So we get to move into melee. So now in Turnip, there is no you only get to fight X number of inches from the enemy. Everybody fights. Nobody quits. Well, probably people quit halfway through because it's Turnip. Our Rootlings have 2 attacks apiece, but their inaccuracy is 7. The only thing that's going to be moving them up to 6 is that they have melee weapons, which give +1 to hit in melee. So looking for a 6. Woo, pretty good. See, this is what happened in the last game, the improbableness of it. So the Rootlings end up with 5 hits. So then we do the saves for the fodder over there on a 6. 4. So they're going to lose 4. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4. This we will bring over here. And now those fodder fight back. And because they're not quite charged up with a second panic token yet, they are only going to be 1 attack apiece. Ta-da! So we have 4 attacks back at the Rootlings, hitting on a 5. Because they also have melee weapons for 1 whole hit. Rootlings save on a 7. Roll the 4, that's going to kill a Rootling. But the Rootlings did win combat, meaning that squad has to run away. So because both of these squads engaged in a melee, they each get a panic token, and in order to determine how far you run away, it is 6 inches plus 2 inches for each panic token. So our fodder there is going to run 10 inches that way and end up screaming across the middle of the field. So now if you will notice what this has done is left our shrine here very exposed. So that squad over there is going to attempt to march to there. Actually, you know what? If they are within 18, they can attempt to charge. So we're going to roll dice, see if the order goes off. It does. So we're going to go 6 plus 9 for 15 inches. So they're not quite able to make it to the rootlings, but you do move a not quite so long charge move. You do move that distance. And because they got charged, panic test, they're good. Because, 1 plus 1 is not 7. Now, here in the center, we have this squad here that has not activated. They are going to order themselves. Remember, you have to attack the closest target, which right now happens to be this squad of very beleaguered fodder. So they are going to attempt to charge. They're good. They're going to go 6 plus a lot. So they're going to go 6 plus 9 and end up there. So I realized I made a mistake in the order of operations. I'm supposed to check to see if they panic and run away before the charge move is made. They end up with a 6. They do not. So now this squad gets to fight there in close combat. We only have 1 attack apiece, but we do hit on a 5. I'm going to move the camera over here so I can show the dice rolls off. Hitting on a 5 because we have melee weapons. Gives us +1 to hit in melee. For 1, 2 hits. Oh, no, 3 hits. And then the moon fodder saves on a 6. No, so we're going to kill 3. And then our lone moon cultist with a stick gets to fight back. Hitting on a 5. Nope. So, just because they fought in melee, this squad gets a panic token. This one goes up to 3. And then he runs away again. This time it's going to be 6 plus 6 for the 3 panic tokens, putting him all the way back there. So that is the end of combat round number 1. So things are looking a lot differently. Let me pull my tape out of there. Things are looking a lot differently than they did in the last video. Now, you do not roll again. The moon cult is going to go first. Now here at the beginning of round 2, this is where some tactical decisions come in. Now remember, this guy could take 2 panic tokens from him, put it on this unit to give them +1 attack. But you have to fight the closest target. So they could really F up some rootlings. But we're not too scared of the rootlings because they have to charge in there anyways. Maybe something will happen. We're going to go over here to the brutes. The brutes are going to go next. And this guy is going to order them to charge into there, which all we got to do is make sure they don't roll a 1 so they don't blunder. Yep, they're good. They are close enough that rolling really doesn't matter. In this case, we're just going to ha-ha. And they're going to get to fighting. So our brutes normally hit on a 5, but they have close combat weapons in a close combat melee, meaning they're going to get +1 to hit, meaning they hit on a 4, and they have 2 attacks apiece on rolling 12 dice. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, we got 6 hits. Not a single one of those was a 4. Now, the melee fodder have to save on a 6, and they don't save a single one, so they lose half of the units. So 6 out of 12, boop, gone. Now they get to fight back. There's only 6 left. They get 6 attacks. Again, melee weapons in a melee fight, +1 to hit. They hit on a 5 for 2 hits. And then the brute's big heavy armor just means instead of a 6, they save on a 5. We save 1. We have 2 wounds apiece, meaning one guy is going to go down to 1. Now at the end of combat, they get a panic token. They get a panic token. They go up to 2. And then they have to run. So in their panic, they run this way, 10 inches directly away from the enemy. Now, you can move within 1 inch of other models if and when you run away. You just have to end outside of an inch. That's why we have this little bubble I created over here. Now, it's time for the sun dudes. Also, I realized I forgot a rule. Whenever these guys are ordered by a toady or a snob to go into close combat, they get to reroll hits. So I'm going to try to remember that from this point forward. No promises. The next, we're going to activate the rootlings. Because these guys are technically closer than the shrine, they have to charge here. And they are useless in everything but melee. They're going to go ahead and be able to get in. We got Lord Daikon backing them up there. So we got 5 guys, 2 attacks apiece for 10 attacks. Hitting on a 6. because we are just root vegetables. So there's only one hit this time. Saving on a 6, fail, so they're going to lose 1, and then they get to fight back. Remember, everyone gets to fight, so it's going to be 11 attacks. Hitting on a 5 because of melee weapons in a melee. For 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. And the rootlings save on a 7. Yeah, I didn't get any 7, so we lose 4. And then after combat, they go up to 2 panic tokens. This squad goes up to 1 panic token. And now the rootlings got to run away. They're going to run away 10. Putting the rootling that ran away directly in the middle of the dangerous terrain. Now, normally you would roll on a 1, it would kill somebody, but rootlings ignore dangerous terrain. So now the moon guy is seeing an opportunity. Our shrine is going to take 1 panic token from this guy within 18 inches and then put it onto this squad here, bumping them up to 2. What that does is it gives them +1 attack, and our closest target is Lord Daikon. So do they blunder? They do not. So Lord Daikon is going to get a gaggle of beatings for so many dice. And because they were ordered by a toady or a, the shrine or a toady, they get to reroll their attacks. So far we have 7. Let's finish out the rest of them. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So full on, more than half of their attacks hit. Toadies suck just like everybody else. He's got 1 wound, saves on a 5. Oh look, Lord Daikon is gone. Back over to the Sun Dudes, this squad, we're going to do them next, and they are going to volley fire at the closest target, which just happens to be those brutes over there. So, let's see if we blunder. We do not blunder. Wow. I've seen some Turnip videos where guys blunder after blunder. I don't know what's going on. I haven't had 1 blunder yet today. So we hit on a 5. For 1, 2, 3 hits, and then they save on a 5. They take 2. So we're going to take out the wounded guy, and we're going to put another wound on that guy there. They took a loss during a shooting attack, so they get an extra panic token. Ta-da! So the next one to activate for the moon guys is going to be the Monitor in this unit here. He's going to order them to charge because they are theoretically within charge range. They are 13 inches away. So as long as we don't blunder, we're good. And they roll 7. They fail. So they do move that 10 inches. We have the rabble of moon dudes coming in. Next one to activate is going to be the Sun and his boys. And surprise, surprise, the closest unit is the Brutes. We are going to attempt a volley fire. We do. So again, hitting on a 5. We got 1, 2, 3. Ooh, that one's actually cocked. 4 hits. Saving on a 5. None of them. So they're going to take 4. So that'll be 1, 2. Or no, it'll be 1, 2, 3. Move that back there to 4. And because they took a wound from a shooting attack, they're going to be up to 3 panic tokens. See? It's easy. Our next and last unit for the Moon guys to activate is Lone Dude with a Stick. He is going to attempt to march, and he is good. So he gets to go 2 inches plus his 6 inches. So he's going to be able to move 7. He's going to move here to stand on that objective. See, I got an objective inside that piece of defensible terrain. I think that also gives him a +1 to his save. Last activation for the Sun guys. We got this squad here that ran away last turn. They are going to rally. Well, they ran away. They've completed their runaway, and they are going to attempt to charge into this squad here. I think after you complete a runaway move, as long as you don't run away again the next turn by something else charging you, you just get to rally. I might be wrong with that. This is my first time playing Turnip, and no one has actually showed me how to play in person. I'm just figuring this out as I go. So these guys are going to attempt to charge here. Do I boggle it? No, they end up with a 4, so we get to go an extra 2d6 plus our movement, an extra 9 for 15 inches of movement. Oh, before I go, I have to see if these guys panic. They do. 5 plus their 2 turns into 7. So they run away 10 inches. Ooh, this is going to turn into a running fight. So our unit of melee fodder almost catches the moon fodder here. If they had been able to roll an additional 2 inches on their movement, they would have caught these guys and just straight killed them. But they didn't. I don't think I activated the rootling yet, so let's go ahead and activate them. And I rolled a 1, which means, because it's a scenario blunder, because no one is in charge of him, he eats 2 of himself, so he's going to die. So that is going to be the end of the round. We are going to be moving into round number 3, and the rootlings respawn. Now, when the rootlings respawn, they must respawn in a piece of dangerous terrain more than 1 inch away from the enemy, which they have. This gives both of these squads a conundrum. If they were to activate, they have to attack the closest unit, which happens to be the rootlings, meaning that they will have to charge into dangerous terrain. The Moon Guy doesn't want to do that yet, and his command range is 6 inches, so these guys are close enough. He's going to command them to turn around and charge those guys. Ha-ha! Yeah, we're good. We are definitely going to be making it into combat. So because we have 2 panic tokens, we get extra attack, and we hit on a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so far, and because they got ordered by a toady or a toff, they get to reroll their melee attacks. For another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope, just 8 more. That was a 4. And then the melee dude saving on a 6. Yep, they are dead as shit. Now, it leaves that squad all the way back there, but it does take an entire activation away from the enemy. The sun over here, over here in the corner, he knows that this squad is going to need to move towards that objective there in order to even tie the game. Right now, the moon is winning, so he's going to order a move and fire. Do they boggle it? They do not. They're going to be able to make it to there, and then they have to fire at the closest unit, which is, again, the brutes. This time, they do not get +1 to hit because they didn't get a volley fire order. So we got 12 shots. Ooh, we got 2 hits. Okay, not terrible. I mean, that one is just straight up law of averages on that one. And then these guys save on a 5. They save 1, but they kill 1, and then these guys go to 4 panic tokens because they took a loss in a shooting attack. So because of all this going on over here, we're going to go to the brutes. They have to attack the closest target, which now, because they lost a guy, that's 5.5. And this is 5. So they're going to be able to attack that unit of fodder. Do they boggle the charge order? They do not. And we are going to go in. Rah! As I move around the terrain and everything. So normally there would be a panic check here, but they don't have any panic tokens, meaning I can't roll a 7. We just go right into fighting. 2 guys, 2 attacks apiece, hitting on a 4. So there's 3 hits, and then I get to re-roll it because of the champion, or the champion, the toady that did it. Nope, we got 3 hits, saving on a 6. No, so they lose 3. 1, 2, 3. 9 attacks coming back, hitting on a 6 because they do not have melee weapons. For 1, saving, not on that, so we have 1 guy that takes a wound. Bingo. They both fought in combat. This unit goes to 5, this unit goes to 1, and then they have to run away, putting them back just about where they started. So a volley fire probably would have been the smart bet, but like I said, they have to make their way towards that objective, which I think is going to be out of their reach for now. So next, activation, we're going to do the rootlings. No, wait, we can't do the rootlings because we have to do somebody who's activated by a Toff or Toady. We have to do these guys. They're going to move and fire. Do they fumble? They do not. So they're going to move 6 this way. And then Jerry the Poop Farmer is going to go with them. They are going to fire into that unit of brutes. 12 shots hitting on a 6. For 2, again, statistically average. Saving on a 5. They fail them both, so that means this guy's going to be down. This guy is down to 1 wound, and this unit is going to be at 6 panic tokens. As soon as anybody charges them, it's going to run away. That unit back there behind the shrine, nobody is even within 18 inches, so it is going to order that unit to move forward. Does it boggle? No. It goes 15 inches. Moving to there, and the shrine is right up behind them. Last activation for the Sun Dudes is the Rootlings. If we charge, we would love to charge there, but we have to charge there. So I don't know if we're going to be able to make that panic. They got to roll a 6. But if they just move, they might be able to move right through the middle enough to make something spectacular happen. So we are going to see if they boggle. They do not. So they get to march 2d6 extra inches for a total of 15. putting themselves right there. Now the Minotaur squad, it's gonna try to charge. Of course, it's gonna try to charge. It does not boggle, and they go a total of 11 inches. So close to the edge of the board, I have to go back to the big old tripod. But I believe charges have to be in a straight line, so that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them have to go through dangerous terrain. So it actually did affect something in this game, unlike last time. So rolling 6 dice. Yeah, we're fine. They only have their 1 panic token, so they don't get 2 attacks. So we have 10 attacks, re-rolling because this guy told us to do this. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we get to re-roll those again for 1. Okay, 5 hits. Saving on a 6. We lose 3. 1, 2, 3. 9 attacks back, hitting on a 6. Nothing. So at the end of combats, this squad gets 1 panic token. This squad gets another panic token because they fought in a combat, and this squad has to run away. So what that's done is push them back into this pocket, leaving Jerry up there. Now, again, I'm not sure if when the unit runs away, this guy runs away with them. I'm just not sure. Again, no one taught me how to do this. I'm going on vibes. Last activation has to be this guy, and because of everything going on everywhere, he needs to keep these guys from here, so he's going to charge, and he boggles it, and he falls face down into the turds and drowns in the diarrhea. So at the end of turn 3, going into turn number 4, it does not look good for the Sun dudes. Moon guys go first. They have to attack the closest target. He's ordering these guys to attack here, and they're good. They don't boggle or they don't botch it. And, well, we would be able to be going 17 inches, but we don't need all that smoke. So we got 11 guys in combat. I'm going to find some place to roll the dice. So zooming back out here, 11 guys, 2 attacks apiece, 22 attacks on a 5. So we got 8 in the first volley. And because we were ordered by the big guy, we re-roll the misses. For another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Woo! Saving on a 6. We got 1, 2, 3 saves. But 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. That squad's going to be gone. There were only 9 there. Mr. Sun is going to order this squad. Just because they have 2, in order for us to take that, they are going to attempt to charge there. Ha-ha! They're good. They charge the distance. And then we have to do a panic check for 5, 6. No! So they get to go in here and they get to fight. They might be able to pull something off. Oh, wait. These guys fought in a combat. They went up to 3. So that 3 plus the 4, they did run away. Oh, no. I know what I'm doing. So they did not roll quick enough to chase them down because these guys are going to run 12 inches away. So after all that is how they end up. Well, that's their panic token. Well, they don't get one because they didn't actually fight in combat. Oh, I'm screwing everything up here at the end. Over here, because it's their turn, these guys are going to try to fight over there. They don't boggle, and they're going to be able to... they go 18 inches. They don't need it. These guys don't have a token. They can't run away. These guys has 1 wound left, and you can never get more than 6 panic tokens. So we're good there. Hitting on a 4, re-rolling. So it's going to be 2 hits into the rootlings. They can't save because they save on a 7. So then they have 8 attacks coming back, hitting on a 6. Ooh, I rolled off screen. There's 2 hits. Uh-oh. Saving on a 5. Oh, that one. Rolled a 6. That one does it. Bang. That's it for that squad. While we're staring at it, the rulings are going to attempt to charge. They're good. 2, 3, 4. So we get 8 attacks, hitting our 6 into this toady. Ha! Wow. 4 hits. 4 hits. Now, yes, I did charge it to a toady because you can remove them from the game. Well, we already did with Lord Daikon. Admiral he kind of sucks. 1 wound, saving on a 5. Nope, so he goes down. Whack. Now over here, the Minotaur is going to have an outbreak of I know what I'm doing. He passes, his unit is going to be able to go another 6. So they're just going to be moving. They're not charging enough to just get over here. It doesn't matter how many die in a difficult terrain. They're going to be able to come claim that objective. So at the end of turn 4, the Sun guys still have this one because none of the Moon guys ever got close enough to take it. At the end of a turn, over here, the Moon Tor and his squad takes that one. Sun guy takes that one, and then those two back there. I don't know if they're held at the beginning of the game because the Moon guys ran right off of them. But I'm going to say they have them. So it's going to be a final score of 3-2 for a Moon Cult victory. So that was Turnip 28, how you actually play Turnip 28. Thank you for the comment that inspired me to put this out there to show you guys how you actually play the game. Once again, the rules are free. Just Google Turnip 28 rules. You'll find them. They're on Max Fitzgerald's Patreon. Speaking of Patreon, come check out mine, where, just like YouTube memberships, I put up videos as soon as they are done editing. I put them up there, possibly a week or 2 or 3 ahead of schedule. I don't know. Check out our sponsors down in the description below. We got PrintedStarships.com with a 20% discount and Corvus Terrain with a 15% discount. And I hope you guys are having fun playing whatever you're playing, wherever you are. And I'll catch you later. Bye-bye.